MotoGP is back in Southeast Asia to complete an intense tour of 4 flyway races in 5 pivotal weeks. After a cool weekend on the Phillip Island coast, MotoGP hits the outskirts of Kuala Lumpur for the Grand Prix Malaysia, where we head back to Europe to complete a record-breaking campaign. We're all set for a sensational weekend in the 25th Sepang Showdown with FP1 next live. It's time for MotoGP. So the Sepang International Circuit, based 50 kilometres south of the beautiful capital city of Kuala Lumpur. Herman Tilke designed this great venue, built back in 1998. The first Grand Prix took place here in 1999. It's a tough test for rider and machine. 5.54 kilometres in length, 15 corners, 10 of them right, 5 of them left. You start that sector 2 going through 4, 5 and 6. Got to be careful through turn 5 not to wash out the front in that high-speed left-hander. Turn 14, which is fair to say, has seen its fair share of drama down the years here in Malaysia. Good morning and welcome to Malaysia. Welcome to live coverage. The build-up starts to round 20 in the 2025 MotoGP World Championship. It's always fantastic to be back in this part of the world, of course. A part of the world which is very familiar to MotoGP. Not only has it been the host venue of the Malaysian Grand Prix since 1999, give or take a couple of years during the COVID pandemic, but of course this has been a serial testing venue for the riders and teams for so many years. The 2025 MotoGP World Championship campaign, well, it kicked off right here in Sepang back in February. We already know who our MotoGP World Champion is in 2025. And 10 years after that race in 2015, sadly, this race will not feature the new World Champion, Marc Marquez. More on some sad news regarding the factory Ducati star coming up shortly as we move into this opening 45-minute FP1 session, where we are celebrating yet another first-time winner in what is turning out to be a rather unpredictable finish to this year's World Championship campaign, as Trackhouse MotoGP team's Raul Fernandez prevailed last weekend down under in Phillip Island. Back-to-back first-time MotoGP winners since Miguel Oliveira and Frankie Morbidelli all the way back at the Styrian and San Marino rounds 5 years ago in 2020. And that's the honour, of course, for Fermin Aldeguer, the victor in Mandalika a few weeks ago, and Raul Fernandez. There's not been 3 first-time MotoGP winners in 3 different Grand Prix in 9 long years since 2016. We're looking at you, Pedro Acosta. We're looking at you, Luca Marini, as maybe top candidates to continue this great run of results going. Matt Burt, Lewis Suddaby in the commentary box as always with you, with Jack Appleyard down in what is, thankfully for Jack's sake, a relatively cool pit lane at the moment. As you'll see, there's rather heavy cloud cover circulating above this Sepang International Circuit. Well, this was the news that Ducati feared, which Marc Marquez feared, and MotoGP fans all around the world feared. That first lap collision with Marco Bezzecchi over in that Grand Prix of Indonesia. We knew for certain had ruled Marc out of Australia and Sepang. Hopefully he might be able to return for one of at least 2 of our European rounds remaining in Portimao and Valencia. Sadly, that is not the case. The recovering right shoulder, and we'll see Marc Marquez. His 2025 season is over. We will not see Marc back on a factory Ducati until February the 3rd, 2026, right here back at the Sepang International Circuit, when winter testing resumes here in a few months' time. Really sad news, Lewis. Really sad news for him and for us, of course, who really wanted to see the world champion on track before the end of the season. Fans of Marc Marquez shouldn't get too concerned. It's not a major setback that Marc Marquez has suffered from in his recovery. It's just simply the way it's progressing. He still has to have his arm and shoulder immobilised for another couple of weeks or so, and ultimately that's going to just leave him with no time to get himself ready and prepared to return in Portimao nor Valencia. And perhaps the biggest blow for Marc Marquez is that he's going to miss the test that follows that Valencia Grand Prix. So as you say, he won't ride a bike again until right here in testing in February. Well, who would have thought coming onto our flyweight tour that we'd be leaving it with Fermin Aldeguer and now Raul Fernandez as first-time MotoGP winners. This was just, 5 days ago at Phillip Island, the wonderful Australian Grand Prix venue. Marco Bezzecchi bolting at the front, of course, where he had to serve the 2 long lap penalty for his collision with Marc in that Indonesian Grand Prix. An early battle with fellow Spaniard Pedro Acosta. I saw Raul Fernandez get up into second place, and once Bezzecchi had served his 2 long laps, which cost him over 4 seconds and dropped the Italian back to 6th place, well, it left Raul Fernandez at the front of the Australian Grand Prix with a lead that, to be frank, he never looked like relinquishing. His first Premier Class success, first, of course, for the American-based Trackhouse MotoGP team, which now means all 11 of our Grand Prix teams in MotoGP have won now a Grand Prix. 76 Grand Prix it took the 25-year-old Spaniard to win his first Grand Prix, and now a new record. 18 riders in our full-time MotoGP grid have won at least one Premier Class race, an all-time lap record. We've told you throughout this season that we have a very, very deep talent pool in the MotoGP World Championship. A talent pool which sadly right now is missing arguably its most talented. No Marc Marquez until 2026. Let's get the thoughts on that news from Ducati boss Davide Tardozzi, who joins Jack.
Yeah, great of Davide to join me. Good morning to everybody, first of all, here from Malaysia. Davide, sad news that for everyone in the paddock, everyone watching at home. We won't be seeing Marc up until we're next here in February, quite remarkably. Just firstly, your reaction to the fact that we won't see Marc for the remainder of this year, and how impactful that's going to be on preparing that 2026 machine.
We are looking to the future with Michele, but in the end we are here trying hardly to bring back Pecco on the position he deserves. So we'll see this morning what it will be since the first run. We are really confident because this is a race track that it suits his riding style. He's been always fast here, so we are confident. We are positive.
And on Marc not being here for the remainder of the season, and in particular that Valencia test, we know that Valencia test is so crucial to give the feedback for the guys to then go into the winter break to develop the bike ahead of it coming back out here in Sepang. So how much of an impact can he now have on what that 2026 machine will look like?
Yeah, it's already that is a shame that we can't have Marc there, but it's more important that he recovers his injury 100%. So we know very well Marc. We miss something having not him there, but we are sure that he will recover everything from the first race of the first test of 2026 here in Malaysia. So having Marc, you have always a plus.
Yeah, absolutely. With regards to his replacement, we spoke to Mauro in Phillip Island, and he said that Nicolo Buliga, who of course just finished second in the World Superbike Championship, is a real contender to step in. He mentioned a test being organised. Have you managed to organise that test for Nicolo?
Yeah, it's something that we do because we want him to be confident with the bike because of his job of 2026, where he will help us to develop the new bike. So having a know-how about the 1000 bike is something that can help him in the future. And then after the test, we will decide what to do for the next 2 races.
So that test has been organised, you're saying? When is it and where is it?
The test, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, the test will be in Jerez, but yeah, it's something that we would like to do it. We are still discussing with him, but it's something that we think it could be better, but everything will be decided after this race.
Just finally, I'm looking at Pecco's bikes, and they both look pretty different. Am I right in thinking one's a 24 spec, one's a 25 spec? You're going to be using this morning as a bit of a test session to compare data from February?
As we always said, being a factory rider means that you can have different possibilities on the bike. So you have several parts that put together in one bike and in the other, and we'll see what it will be his response after the test.
Thanks, Davide.
Yeah, thanks very much, Jack. As always, a very enlightening interview down there with Ducati boss Davide Tardozzi. Michele Pirro, the Ducati test rider, is once again standing in for Marc Marquez this weekend here in Malaysia. But as you heard there, it looks like new World Superbike Championship runner-up Nicolo Bulega is certainly being lined up for replacement rides in our final 2 Grand Prix in Portimao in Valencia, an upcoming test on the Desmos Adichie Ducati MotoGP machine at Jerez. Sounds like that one's not